What's up, you guys? I'm Rachel DeMita, and welcome to the Courtside Club. I am so excited to be back, and I am back as a married woman. So thank you guys so much for giving me the week to enjoy our wedding, enjoy our time together, and enjoy this very special time in our lives. What are my cats doing? What are you guys doing? The cats are in the lighting equipment bag. Can we stop? But anyway, you guys, I did miss you guys, and I feel like there's also so much that I missed that happened in the last 6 days. We have a lot to talk about today, so let's jump right in. And I want to start with last night's game. We were live for it. It was a tough watch if you're an Indiana Fever fan. They lost to the Phoenix Mercury 60-95. Now, this game, emotions were running high. This was another rematch game. We all know the drama that ensued with DB leaving the Indiana Fever, and it does seem like there is some bad blood that might be going between her and players on the Indiana Fever. And if you guys remember also, when DB went back to Gamebridge, when she went back to play the Indiana Fever fans booed her. I didn't really get to talk about this. I tweeted about it. There were so many podcasts talking about this. There were think pieces written about it, like, should the fans have booed her? She's a legend. It's just, sometimes, you guys, I wonder if some WNBA fans have ever watched any other sports in their entire life, because why wouldn't she be booed? Like, it was such a normal thing. It's a normal thing that happens in sports. Players get booed all the time, and a lot of players honestly thrive off of booing, especially when it's something like that. Like, you get up for those type of games. So, Sunny, what? Can we get down? Can we get down? Okay, thank you. I was just actually floored by the amount of people who had so much of an issue of her getting booed. Like, DB being the player that she is, that should have hyped her up even more for that game. Anyway, this was also a big game for Sophie Cunningham, who played her first 6 seasons in the WNBA with the Phoenix Mercury. They had a tribute video for her, and obviously, like, she lived there for many years, so she was excited for that game as well. And I feel like Sophie Cunningham was the only player on the Indiana Fever who had a good game. It had to suck for her because it felt like the rest of the team just didn't come to play, or, you know, it was just an off night for the rest of them. Another blow to the Indiana Fever is that Sydney Colson got hurt in last night's game, and when they showed the replay, she went up to grab the ball, she came down, and it looked like her knee caved into the inside. To me, it looked like an MCL, hopefully not an ACL, but it did look like it was something serious. They put a towel over her head, they carried her into the locker room, and then throughout the night, more players got injured. There was a time to start the third quarter that Sophie Cunningham was still in the back, and Lexie Hull actually started in her place to start the second half. And I was on live, I was wondering, like, what's going on? Why is Coach Stephanie White benching Sophie? Like, she's had a great first half. Why is she on the bench now? But come to find out, there was something going on with her ankle. So there was something going on with her. And then later on in the night, Aari McDonald also was injured, and I saw a tweet from Chloe Peterson saying that there's something going on with Aari. So during that fourth quarter, when the Phoenix Mercury pulled away and it was pretty much a 30-point lead throughout the entire fourth quarter, the Indiana Fever didn't have a point guard. Like, Kelsey Mitchell was on the floor running the point guard. Sydney Colson goes down, Aari McDonald goes down, Sophie's running on a leg and a half. Sorry, you guys, as I'm editing this video, we just got the devastating news that both Sydney Colson and Aari McDonald will be out for the season. Sydney Colson tore her ACL. Aari McDonald broke a bone in her foot, which I was not expecting her injury to be that bad. But honestly, this is such a devastating blow for the Fever. Obviously, I feel horrible for Sid and Aari, and I'm sending them my best wishes. But what a bumpy ride it has been this season for the Fever, and this is tough because they don't have a point guard. I haven't gathered all my thoughts. I'll talk about it more in tomorrow's video, but I just wanted to make sure that you guys had the updated information. This is tough. It really sucks. Now, looking at the Phoenix Mercury, DeWanna Bonner came to play. She ended the night with 23 points and 7 rebounds, and Alyssa Thomas had her third straight triple-double. She had 18 points, 10 assists, and 11 rebounds. Now, she did stat pad that last assist. I don't hate it, but the Phoenix Mercury were winning by so much, and they kept AT and DB in the game, so she could get that last assist, but that did break the record for most triple-doubles in a row in WNBA history. And I do have to say, like, a lot of of people have a lot of things to say about Alyssa Thomas's game. The fact that Alyssa Thomas does not shoot threes, she does not even shoot jump shots at all, and the fact that she is able to put up numbers like she does is honestly truly impressive. When players guard Alyssa Thomas and she's at the three-point line, whoever's guarding her, which last night was Aaliyah Boston, was all the way down in the paint. And so it impresses me that that style of game, she's able to be as efficient as she is. And the Mercury, they wanted this one bad. They wanted it more than the Indiana Fever, and that was very, very clear. Now, something that I wanted to point out, the most surprising moment of the night, which confirms the fact that there had to be something that went on between DB and at least some of the Indiana Fever players, because I was shocked by this. If you watch this play here, DeWanna Bonner gets the ball. She's going around the Alyssa Thomas screen, which again was not called as a moving screen, which is kind of wild to me. AT's just kind of getting in the way. Lexie Hull is guarding DB, and then DB goes up for the three and immediately starts chirping Lexie. Now, of all people, I feel like chirping Lexie is a wild move. Like, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if she started chirping like literally anyone else on the Fever. But Lexie is someone who I feel like I've never seen her get into it with anyone. We saw it for a half of a second. She almost did something with Kelsey Plum, but you never see Lexie Hull like trash talking, getting in people's faces. Like, she plays with a lot of energy and fire, but it's just Lexie. She seems like a really sweet girl. She's straight to business. She just goes out there, does her job, and keeps it pushing. Now, fans also went to the broadcast and they slowed it down, and it looks like DB was yelling at Lexie as she's going down the court and calling her a bum. This was early on in the game. I just thought this was so surprising. I was like, you can't convince me that there wasn't something, like somebody didn't feel a type of way, because to chirp Lexie after a moving screen and then a three that gets hit, I don't know. I thought it was interesting. You guys let me know in the comments what you thought about that. Now, there was one other play that I wanted to point out that happened between DB and Sophie, and this one didn't surprise me because we know Sophie is fiery. She's not scared of anyone. She doesn't back down to anyone. And this was when Sophie was dribbling the ball up the court. DB steals the ball from her. There is some contact there. She goes straight across her body, and Sophie just kind of grabs her arm. Like, it was an intentional foul on her part. They called it a clear path. I think that that's a fair assessment of a foul because DB would have been going the other way. Sophie was not trying to hurt her. She was just, it seemed like to me, intentionally trying to foul her to stop the play. But then as it kept going, you could see Sophie is kind of yelling something. I don't know who exactly she was yelling it at because we can't see from this camera angle here. But that was another moment, you guys. Like, emotions were high the entire night. Even though the Fever were getting blown out, the emotions were high throughout the entirety of the game. People were on the floor. It seems like Sophie got hit in the face or something as well. It was a very physical game. Satu was getting into it with some of the players, but the Lexie DB exchange was the one that surprised me. Moving on, I want to talk about something that has transpired in the week that I was away, and I can't even believe that we are talking about it here, but that is dildo gate. So over the past week, multiple dildos have been thrown on the court during WNBA games. I think the final count now is up to 8, including last night's game. Now, something new that happened in last night's game with the Chicago Sky against the Atlanta Dream was that a purple dildo was thrown on the court, and before that, it had only been these bright neon green. I'm just going to call them things from now on because I know that there are some parents who watch my episodes with their children. Green things thrown on the court. But I wanted to share what Coach Cheryl Reeve had to say about this whole fiasco.
This has been going on for centuries. The sexualization. This is the latest version of that. And it's not fun. It should not be the butt of jokes on any radio show. Or in print or in any comments. The sexualization of women is what's used to hold women down. And this is no different. This is just its latest story. And we should write about it in that way. And these people that are doing this should be held accountable. And we're not the butt of the joke. They're the problem. And we need to take action.
I'm sorry, but am I just not woke enough? Do I not take things seriously enough? Because I think she's looking into this a little bit too much. This is being used to hold women down, and it's been happening for centuries. Like, come on. Even the players are laughing about this. Like, no, nobody wants to get hit by it. No, it's bad. It should stop. But unfortunately, stuff like this is going to keep going. The last person I think that they arrested for throwing one of these toys onto the court was an 18-year-old. People are going to think it's funny. They're going to keep doing it as long as they can get away with it. Now, the people who have thrown things, they have been banned from the games. They have been arrested, like, as you should. These people should absolutely be punished, but I don't think that this is some wild conspiracy of trying to hold women down. Also, by the way, Coach Cheryl Reeve, if you're going to make a bold claim like this, you can't in the same sentence say, we're not here to be the butt of the joke. Choose your words wisely if you're going to take a serious stance on this. Now, with that, you guys, there are rumors that this whole thing is actually a marketing scheme for a new cryptocurrency. And this is what a spokesperson from this crypto group had to say about it. He said, "We didn't do this because we dislike women's sports or like some of the narratives that are trending right now are ridiculous." He said, "Creating disruption at games is like, it happens in every single sport, right? We've seen it in the NFL. We've seen it in hockey. You know, fans do random things to more or less create attention." Now, they also said, moving forward, we have a lot more pranks, but they're a lot lighter. They're a lot more tasteful. They're with a lot of different branded merch, and it's more or less to keep the thing being spotted in different places that are high traffic areas with cameras. But I will also say, you guys, there were a couple that were thrown on the court last night, but the WNBA actually implemented a no bag policy for the game last night, and these things still made it into the arena. I don't know at this point. People are asking how they got him in. I don't even want to open that can of worms. We will leave it at that. The last thing I wanted to talk about today is the trade deadline. So the trade deadline has officially passed in the WNBA. A lot of people were wondering if the Fever were going to make any big trades, and they did not. It seems like the team that they have is the team that they're going to stick with, the newest addition being Chloe Bibby. Chloe Bibby has also been like somebody that's confused me, and it's not her own fault. I don't understand her in the rotation, because when Chloe Bibby first went to the team, she was playing so many minutes. She took all of Dantas's minutes, and then it felt like Stephanie White phased her back out. Dantas is back in. Now Chloe Bibby's getting garbage minutes. Even last game, Bree Turner played the entire fourth quarter. I have no clue what's going on with the rotations, but the roster that you see, now my cats are fighting. What is going on? Please calm down, you guys. Please. This is crazy. The roster that you see with the Fever is probably the one that is going to stick. Now, the Minnesota Lynx probably had the biggest pickup when it comes to what happened in the WNBA trade situation. So Dejanay Carrington was sent to the Minnesota Lynx. And this is what Dejanay had to say about the trade. She said, "I was excited. Like I said, I'm a winner, and this is a winning organization. So to be able to come in here this late in the season for a team that's already number one, and to feel like there's something you can bring, even to boost that what they already are with a 5 to 6 game cushion, it's definitely a good feeling." This was such a steal. I can't believe Dallas sent her to the Lynx. I think she will absolutely be a contributor there. And the Minnesota Lynx they've broken away from the pack. It seems like they have already secured, unless something crazy happens in these last 10 to 12 games of the season, they have absolutely secured that number one spot in playoffs. Now, another big trade that happened was the Mystics' Aaliyah Edwards was sent to the Connecticut Sun in exchange for JC Sheldon. And lastly, the Washington Mystics traded Brittany Sykes in exchange for Alicia Clark and Zaya Cook from the Seattle Storm. So there was definitely a lot of things that happened around this trade deadline, and we'll just have to see how the chemistry of all of these teams work out with playoffs just around the corner. And I think that's all I've got today. I think Sonny is wanting me to finish this episode. He's being absolutely wild today, but we are so excited to be back. I appreciate all of you guys. Once again, please let me know all of your thoughts on all of these topics in the comments below. Thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it, and click that little subscribe button, because we upload new videos every single week, and we're back now, so we're going to be uploading a lot more. with that I'm going to go. I will see you guys next time. Ooh, Sonny, what the heck? What?